Hi everybody, welcome back to Kevin's Upfront Opinion today. Now, I was thinking about doing this video last night because I was up quite late again last night. Before anybody whines and complains I need to sort myself out, I am actually back to the doctors today because my wife threatened to section me the other day. So I am back at the doctors. So whilst I was scrolling through Facebook, looked at my own past, doing my sister, doing my children, and looking at where I failed, who I failed, and sometimes in your life you have to be honest with yourself. And I came to this conclusion that there's a lot of women out there, or young children as in female children, who think the fathers don't want them because they've got this ideology that men just want to have sons. And the reality is, it's untrue. It is categorically untrue. So this is the real reality of the case. And whether all the women out there and young girls nowadays that have been let down by their fathers like myself, and I have let down my children massively over the years, and I only have myself to blame. Now I can blame it on other people, and I won't go mentioning names because I could do without being sued, and I don't want to go publicly shaming people online for everybody to hear, okay, because that's more of a personal thing. But men want one son. That's all they want. One son. And the reason for that is to carry their bloodline. Because that's what men care about. Just the continuation of their name and their bloodline. No different to the royal family, really. They just want the continuation of their crown and their bloodline. After they've got that son, they don't want any more sons. The only thing, now a woman, on the other hand, it's a different story. They do want sons, because most women, even my own wife will tell me, sons are easier to look after than women. Or girls, however you want to put it. After that, all men want is daughters. In total, if I include all of my daughters, including my stepdaughter, I have 4. I have 4 daughters. Out of them 4 daughters, and this is shaming myself a bit, only 2 of them speak to me. And on a good day, only actually one of them speaks to me, and she don't have much choice because she's 5 years old. Now, reason for that. Reason's simple. Been a bad father. Not really done a very good job of it. Makes you feel guilty as hell. So for all them women out there who think that men don't want to have daughters, I'm sorry to tell you this, you are fundamentally kidding yourself. You may want to believe that. My sister's a classic example. My sister is. Okay. And I'm going to try and be careful what I say in case any member of my family watches this video and goes and tells her, or goes and tells my stepfather, or tells my mother. My mother ain't really going to know too much about it. But the reality is, my mother was a very clever person. And she made sure that my father never had a chance She even did the same trick to me, but took me 30 years to wise up, and that's reality. Took me 30 years. Now, the reality is it's taken me 16 years to sort myself out, because when I had my first child, I didn't know how to be a father. Made fundamental, massive mistakes which I will have to suffer for the rest of my life, because there's never any going back at the end of the day. And those are things I'm going to have to live with. And that's one of the reasons I'm back at the doctor's today, to face up to my past, face up to the mistakes I've made, and see if there's any way I can fix them mistakes, which I know I can't. I can't fix them. So even if one woman watches this, or one young girl watches this today, and takes one thing, this is the one thing I want them to take out of it. Most men make mistakes, and they make a lot of mistakes. There's no hiding from that, because most men, including myself, spend their entire life, every waking moment of their day, trying to protect their partner, whether that's a wife, whether that's a girlfriend, whether boyfriend, whatever way they swing. I ain't got a problem with that, it's down to them. Okay, so fundamentally, they spend their life trying to protect them. The other thing they try to protect, and the one thing they care about the most, and this goes certainly for myself, is protect their children and do whatever it takes to protect their children. You know, I got to such the extreme state, and I added this up the other day, I didn't actually believe it. I was working 105 hours a week. 105 hours, paid work that is. Then you had to also add in the voluntary work I was doing, because in that period I was also working on a hospital radio station. Now, that hospital radio station have absolutely no idea how many hours I was working on their behalf. Now, hopefully nobody finds out, but I was working about another 10 to 15 hours a week on their behalf as well, because most of the work I did for them, I did from home. Okay, so they never actually knew. They've asked me, and I'd always lie and say, that's not very much. You know, so the reality is, men will always do what's most. And the other kicker is, and I can look at myself for this, men will never stop thinking. Even if they're alienated from a child, that child will always be in their mind every waking moment of their life. Even if they're other side of the world, the next city, whatever the reason is, they're unable to see that child. Whether the child wants to believe it, and they want to believe some kind of story, and I've spoken to lots of people about this, a man will never stop thinking and never stop dreaming of one day things may be different. Whether they will ever be different, or whether they're just kidding themselves and living their life in delusion, it's another argument. But at the end of the day, a man will never stop dreaming that one day things will change. So I'm going to leave it for now. So I hope this does help somebody out there. Okay. If it doesn't, I'm sorry. If it just helps one person, I know it's been worth it. Because that's all I need to do is just help one person. So for now, thanks for watching, and I'll speak to you all again a bit later.